All right, folks, in the event this works, I am back at EFI Specialties once again. The Holley, not the Holley. I keep saying the Holley. It's not the Holley, it's the Gateway. The Gateway has been shipped back to us, supposedly tested and works. So, we're gonna plop it in shake and bake. We got to switch out the O2s for the Holley O2s. And then we test it out. If everything works, we'll be on the dyno, doing some dyno pulls, getting her dialed in. If it doesn't work, y'all ain't gonna see this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if it does work, there's gonna be some stuff coming in a second. So y'all hang on. Just sort of a refresher. I know it's a little dark in here. Hopefully y'all can see me. But just a quick refresher. We tried to get the Gateway and the Holley to work before we left for Rocky Mountain Race Week. We fixed 3 or 4 little quirks because this setup, again, was originally set up for a Hellcat, not a 6457. So again, we're one of the first ones to do this. So while I was at Rocky Mountain Race Week, they sent the Gateway back to Big 3 Racing, who sent it back to Race, I think is the name of the company that makes the Gateway. They did their thing, sent it back to Big 3. Big 3 supposedly tested it. So I guess they're testing on a turbocharged 6.4. Supposedly it said it works, so we have it. Again, we're gonna throw it in, we're gonna test it, see if everything's good to go. If everything's good to go, we're gonna wrap around and put it on the dyno. And I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But stay tuned.
Yeah, and then plus I'm gonna
all right, all familiar picture. Y'all have seen this quite a few times, a little shake and bake, but we're back on the dyno. So that's telling you that everything's working with the Race and the Holley. But we got a little more tweaking to do, but it's working. But we're back on the dyno. Here comes the first pull.
I like your graph.
Short pull to check things out. Just a short pull, make sure everything's good to go. Alright, pull number 2. First one was just a paint test. Dave's gonna work his magic and we're gonna see what happens. All right, that last pull was 6,700 RPMs and 23.5 pounds of boost. But I think we might be running out of fuel pressure, so we may have to wind up going to triple pump sooner than I thought we did. But we're gonna do another pull. Dave's gonna log everything. We're gonna check it out and see what happens. today than it was when we did it
I'm
last
also wondering
time.
if the tires aren't affecting the weight of the wheels and shit, you know?
Right.
Because that is something that would change. And, you know, if you added 30 pounds on both sides or 20 pounds on both sides, that's rotating mass, especially on the outside, you know?
Right.
I mean, I'm still happy with it, don't get me wrong.
So we are on different tires. What he's talking about is we're on different tires and different rims. So I'm on my stock 20-inch tires and 20-inch rims.
Okay. Usually a soft tire.
So the rotating mass is much heavier than it was when we had the bead locks on them.
And we haven't really given it a cool down. The car's basically been running.
That's true.
Because he can do it in real time with this. He doesn't have to shut it off. So.
And I think it is warmer today than it was when we did it back then.
That's probably fuel pressure.
But we'll be back in a minute. All right. 25 horsepower, 930 torque. And yes, we know the fuel pressure is dropping off at the end. We know that. So that's one of the things we gotta fix. Is I gotta go back, talk to Ford, and get upgrade from a dual pump to a triple pump to get more fuel to make more power. All right, so we did a little tweaking. $1129.99. I say that's $1130.
Did it fix it?
And 925 torque. So Dave's still tweaking. We're still figuring a few things out, but we're gonna keep doing some pulls, and I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
All right, so after a couple hours, we finally figured out what the problem is that's holding the car back and holding the Holley back, holding the trans back, holding us back from making the power we want to make. And what's holding us back? The coupler on the ProCharger to the velocity stack was sucking closed because we were making so much boost. It was sucking it closed and just throwing everything off. So what we're doing is we're taking a chunk of aluminum, putting it in there for now to sturdy that area where it was collapsing. Sturdy that area up, throw it back on, put it back on the dyno, and see if we can make some power.
A few moments later.
All right, folks, with the fix that fixed all of our issues was the stupid coupler. Look at the bottom numbers. Woo! 1177.79 and 943. We'll say 944 torque. There it is, playing out in the open by itself. We definitely did go lean, no doubt about it. Y'all saw the bottom. I know y'all did. I know everyone's gonna hit me up in the comments, but no, we know it's running lean. Don's getting a triple pump to replace the dual pump. So there you go, folks. 1170. What I say? 1177. Rounded up to 1178. 1178 horsepower, 944 pound-feet of torque. That's a lot of torques, all that stuff.
Yeah, we're just gonna end it there for the night.
But that's it for tonight. We're not gonna go ice because that's just gonna make it run even more lean. It's gonna make it even more boost. So lean is bad. For those of you folks that don't know, lean is bad. Lean is real bad. So we're gonna leave it where it is tonight. Once I get the triple pump, we get the triple pumps in to handle the fuel. The injectors will be fine. I'm not worried about the injectors. Once we get the triple pump in, we'll bring it back to the dyno, do a couple pulls, see what we can make. Then we'll add the ice and see what we can make. So that is gonna do it for this one, folks. Till the next one, adios.